Our community is drawn from our local environment. And we live in London, and London brings with it huge benefits, but also challenges. And our young people have to navigate that. So they do live in communities where they deal with violence, they deal with racism. So we very clearly set out to say that in this school and in this place and in this community, something will be different. Now, I can't change what happens once they set foot outside to them, but I can change and help to give them the skills so that when those things do happen, they have a language, they have a vocabulary, they have a confidence to know that actually they are right and what's happening to them is wrong and they know what to do.
Today we want to be able to think about what things make us unique as people, which things we do as people that are kind of special to us, how things make us feel included, what things make us feel like we belong.
These workshops are absolutely important in helping young people shape and form who they are, and knowing that whatever their choices are, which can change, that is valid and that is to be respected and that is to be celebrated. And sometimes they don't know that. They can walk into a room, they can do a workshop, they can have conversations with their friends, and they can walk out transformed, feeling really powerful and empowered by the experience.
Okay, so first thing we are going to do is look at the words in which we are using across the school. So words like race, ethnicity, gender, sex, and class. What do you think these words mean?
Higher class.
Yeah, higher class.
Yeah. If you're in higher class and you're really rich, you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Say me compared to Janae.
Yeah.
Just because Janae's light skin don't mean she's not black.
Yeah.
I think sex is the thing that we're like born with.
Your gender is like who you could say you feel you are, like that's who you identify as.
On paper, there's like the thing, it's like say your ethnicity, African British female. I don't know what it means, but I'm pretty sure that's like what ethnicity means.
Okay, interesting. So we're thinking about maybe when you have to tick on like a census form. In terms of our definitions, these are not fixed terms. Like we always say, language is something that changes over time. Socially, it will change what the words mean and how we use them. But for us, these are what we think best fits for our definition as a school now.
A lot of people who are more privileged than others don't really think about, like what other people might go through. So this kind of puts it into perspective that, like not everybody has it like the same as you, and you need to realise and understand that, like you have certain privileges that some people don't, and it just kind of lets everybody know and creates like an unjudgmental like space for everyone.
This person works in a socially respected job. They have dyslexia. Their parents are immigrants and English is their second language. Right? In your heads, you should be thinking, what kind of person is that presents in your mind? They have 3 degrees, including a master's.
At first, I was thinking it's definitely a white man because, in society, females are always portrayed as people that are not supposed to be higher than men.
I thought it was like a teacher because I did the maths, and then 38 hours is how much a teacher works, and they have 3 degrees including a master's, and you need a high education to be a teacher.
But what came to my mind was non-white, because socially respected kind of made me think they were kind of brown, because I feel in our culture, I'm brown, and in my culture I feel socially respected is very key.
The point of this exercise is obviously to think about the assumptions we make subconsciously, because we were talking about education on that table, and then we were talking about this information we had on there, because I've done the same amount of degrees, but I don't know if I would say I'm middle class, even though that education is there. I was raised in a working class family. I would still kind of call myself working class, so that was a question mark. Religion, I was on, I think, these tables, we were talking about religion a little bit. I was born Catholic, but then my mum's Muslim, my brother's Muslim, and I believe in a lot of things. With these kinds of conversations, it takes a level of vulnerability for the staff engaged in these kind of conversations, because you put yourselves at the scrutiny of the students. It takes a lot for a staff member to offer up those character bits of information which is about them, letting a room full of people assume things about them and be shocked.
I'm 12, a girl with she, her pronouns, straight.
Over here, I'm middle class, but in my home country, I'm wealthy.
I speak English and Dari, which is my home language. This has made me really confident about myself, and there are many things I never thought that I could share with other people, and I always kept my opinion to myself, and I always feared judgment, but from today I really feel like this was really my chance to open up.
If you don't feel like your race or gender have enough representation in the media, put your finger down. If someone has made an uncomfortable joke relating to your race, gender or class and you have stayed silent, put your finger down. If you have ever been diagnosed as having a disability, mental health concern, put your finger down.
For our young people, they have to see themselves in the curriculum. They have to see themselves represented positively, and you will see that all around the school building, in the displays, in the choices of texts, in the people that we hold up to aspire to, in the people that come into the school building to talk. All of those things are hugely important. But I don't think, and what I think was quite interesting, is the culture is now established to such a degree that the young people would not allow us not to engage in this work, and I think that's really powerful in and of itself.
Today's topic is Muslim minority groups in Xinjiang, China. So instead of putting their images of them being persecuted, I thought let's humanize these people, that they do have a history, they do have a culture. Cultural genocide is the idea that you don't have the intention of killing off the entire group. What you want to do instead is wipe out their cultural or religious identity completely and make them adopt the whatever identity that you prefer them to have. Personally, what it was like when I was at school, and the kind of issues that happened and affected students like myself who came from ethnic minority backgrounds but were generally ignored, you end up feeling quite invisible. And so I wanted, for me as a teacher, when I became a teacher, I wanted to do something where I don't just stick to the curriculum, but we talk about things that our students, concerns our students, where they feel heard and where they feel seen. And for me, I feel satisfied when I know that I've done things like this, when students at the end say, thank you for doing this, miss. I was able to share my opinions, share my thoughts, and I feel more empowered to doing things like this. So first of all, what does that word mean, genocide? What does it mean? Randa?
Mass killings of groups of people.
Mass killings of groups of people. What's the aim?
To just wipe them all out.
Wipe them all out, okay. Can anyone give me an example of groups that have been victims of genocide?
The Europeans went to America and killed many of them to, make America and make a new country for themselves.
Wow.
The Jewish genocide.
There you go, the Jewish genocide. Okay, the Nazis genocide of the Jewish people in Europe.
There was a mass killing of Muslims in Bosnia by the Serbians.
Okay, very good. That's another good example. Okay, the policy of the school is that we're openly anti-racist, and initiatives have been taken to explore what that actually means, not just say we're an anti-racist school and just have a wishy-washy statement about that, but actually practically what does that actually mean. And the fact that from a leadership perspective, they have encouraged our head teacher, Sarah Beagley, she's encouraged teachers to first of all explore the issues that concern us, and then encourage teachers to explore those issues with students. How many of you would say you've learned something you didn't know before about them?
What I wanted to say is, well, first of all, how remarkable you are, and that the hope is in this generation. And I was recording a quote from Martin Luther King, who said, "An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." For me, every single one of us has a power, and that power is we can commit to live our lives in peaceful ways. We can commit to make sure that the people who we surround ourselves with, we are part of their journey, that we can be educators. We can make change, and change happens right here. It happens with the relationships that we form with each other. So never think that you are powerless. We are all stronger and more powerful than we know.